Guys, type 1 if you got this survey, type 2 if you didn't. What if this is just a scam that a fan made and we're all getting bamboozled? You know what I mean? How many of you guys actually got it? Let's see what it says. Playable shaman on the alliance side. I think that's cool. They could have dwarf shamans and then Horde could have undead paladins maybe. I don't like Tauren paladin. I think Tauren paladin is so silly. And for the people that are saying it's not going to work for undead, it does, because undeads have holy priests, disciplined priests, right? Yeah, Tommy, thank you for the gift sub to Index. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. The introduction of Shaman class to Alliance. Collection. A UI-based storage system for pet, mouse, and toys to free up inventory. I would love that, please. Guys, yes or no, okay? So that maybe Blizzard could watch the VOD in the future and get an idea. Type 1 if we should have Shaman and Alliance. Type 2 if we shouldn't. That's a hard landslide. There's like one... Okay, few guys that are like classists, but majority is all saying 1. I don't see a negative side to both factions having Shaman and Paladin. I think that's fine. And then you get to play Horde or Alliance, right? That's what it should be. Okay, now type 1 if you want toys and mounts, pets in a different section. Or do you really want to be a CBT enjoyer and carry all your mounts and all your bags? I think this is a obvious one, but if there's any 2s, that's fine too. So 1 is yes, 2 is no. I'm a hard 1 here. I do not carrying all these trash. My bag space, I need space. It looks like we're on the same page here. Account-wide collection. Making all pet, mounts, and toys available to all characters on your account. There's an exception, I think, for this. I don't like how retail did it, where glad mounts are account-wide. I feel like you should only have your glad mount if you unlocked it on that specific class. I think that's how it should be. Maybe I'm wrong here, but if you get like the rank 14 mount, fuck man, I don't know. I guess you did complete it and you get it, so maybe you should use it on all your character. This one is like a 1 and 2. This one's a hard one. The pets and the toys, they're a little bit easier. So if you get like Scarab Lord or rank 14 mounts, or let's say they put in a mini arena and there's a mount for it, I think it should only be accessible for the classes that unlocked that mount. 1v1 duel, I would love a 1v1 duel area. Hen house, any private servers, they always have a dueling area. When you drop the flag down, it resets your cooldown and your full health and you get to go right away. I think that's awesome. But they need to make it where if you get out of that zone, all your cooldowns should be rolled. Meaning, let's say I pop wing, it's 2-minute cooldown, and then I duel someone, my wing gets refreshed, right? And then people might abuse this reset cooldown and summon people to kill certain bosses or whatnot, but they should make it where if you leave the area, all your cooldowns go on cooldown so that you can't abuse that. What do you guys think? 1's in the chat for dueling area. 2 if not. I don't think this hurts anyone, so yeah. Having this does not matter. Hard 1 for everyone. Alright. Yeah, it's just a dueling area, not a 1v1 rating system. It's just a duel area as it says. Yeah. Just make it usable after you have been in arena for 2 minutes. No power increase. New player model, character model. Character models similar to those used for player characters in modern World of Warcraft. This is going to be split. I think majority of the classic players want the classic models. I wouldn't mind whatever wins. I like retail graphic. I like classic graphic. The only thing I don't like about retail graphic is the goofy faces they make when they like do an animation or like slash dance. They look silly. But I think the classic players want a classic model. But the only reason why I say I'm open to like new model is because if you play Final Fantasy VII Remake, the new graphic is far superior than the old ones, right? So if they could do like an Elden Ring style graphic, which is very unlikely to happen, I wouldn't mind that, right? That's just me. Or make it a toggle. They could make a toggle, but here's the problem, Tommy. If they do have the toggle system, they would have to refurbish or make retail-like models for the armors, or it might look off if it's like a new model with classic shoulder or helmet model. It might look a little bit weird. That's why eventually they took off that checkmark in Mists of Pandaria. If you guys remember, we got the new models like at the end of MOB, I think, or maybe it was WoD. But I remember we getting that little checkmark system, but they removed it eventually because the new gear on classic model looked awful, right? But if the people are okay with the checkboxes, I think we can make that work. So would you guys want checkboxes or not? I guess checkbox doesn't really hurt anyone. For the people that want to use old one and new one. Maybe I want the checkbox. Yeah, maybe I like the checkbox too. You get a choice. Alright, in-game event. New events that offer different small quests and casual gameplay around the world. These would release between large updates. I would not be opposed of that. I think this is a hard one for everyone, right? Who wouldn't want in-game events? Hello? Free content, guys. If you type 2, you're a psychopath. Alright. Pet battles. Collect pets from the game world and have them compete head-to-head other pets in turn-based battle. For me, I wouldn't play pet battle because pet battle is pretty boring. I played it when it first came out, yet having it doesn't hurt anybody. So I'm not opposed of it. I'm not gonna do it, but it doesn't hurt anyone, right? So for the people that want to do it, let them do it. People that don't want to do it, don't do it. It's just more content for the world. Wow, Iron Man pet battle, that would kind of be crazy. You know what would be cooler if instead of the turn-based pet battle, if they have like an arena and you go in as the pet and you play as the pet like you would in arena, but you have 4 abilities. It's like kind of Plunder Storm, but you play as that pet. And it's like those Street Fighter games where if it dies, your next one comes out, or you could like switch as you play. And imagine there's like pillar and there's like skill shots, and each pet like, you return and send out and you're like fighting around. Dude, that would be so crazy. I feel like I would play that all day. They should do that. Leveling professions improvements. Ability to take more usable gear for yourself as you level and be able to craft it at level appropriate trade skill levels. I think this is a hard one. Doesn't hurt anyone. It's more stuff. More professions. People like it. Savix, this is Blizzard. You're hired. Thank you. I have some good ideas. I've been playing MMOs for a while now. New class, abilities, and spells. Brand new class, abilities, or spells unique to this version of Classic. Okay, I would love new classes, but I'm afraid of how they'll do it, and I think we're all on the same boat. If they do it correctly and make it balanced, like a classic version of like monks or classic version of DK, I think that'd be really fun, right? Yeah, it's just we're afraid of how they'll do it, and they would have to balance it out really well. Not classes, spells. New class, abilities, and spells. I mean, yeah, that's all of them, right? I think for the classes like Boomkins, Shadow Priests, Red Paladins, Feral Druids, I think they would need a little bit more love. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Because some of the classic classes suck. Absolute big ones. Hashtag no change. Okay, if you want hashtag no changes, go fucking play Classic WoW, you nerds that played the same game for 20 years. Yeah, go suck on that bottle, okay? We don't want that. We need a little bit of changes, guys. Classic Plus. We're trying to make it in the classic version with some nice changes into it, right? That's what we want. Vad hade det? Jag hade en skurvenägel. You forget, yeah, Resto Druid. Of course. There's a lot more classes that I could name. Survival Hunters, right? Anyways, next page. Honor Reward Redesign. Move honor rewards away from the original WoW model and towards a more seasonal model where new honor rewards are added to coincide with new PvE raid tier update. Seasonal? WoW token GG? I'm not really understanding this. Anything but rank 14 grind? Yeah, I think rank 14 grind is a little bit too much. I don't know how Classic could do PvP. I want to say like a hidden MMR system. Or I would like a rating system, but I think that puts a barrier on it. And I know Classic ranking is nice because everybody gets to do it, whether you're really bad at the game or not. But if you put a rating system, it definitely puts a gateway on it. Oh, okay. New sets each tier. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how they would do it though, because if the ranking's too short, everyone's gonna like have the gear and be strong. I don't know how they could do Classic PvP. My consideration would be like, I don't want to put a rating system. I feel like that's too elitist. I was gonna say maybe like a solo queue rated system where you queue up and you get into a BG and you play, and if you get like 1800, you get the gears. Maybe like 1200, you could buy gloves and boots. 1500, you could buy like pants and chests, etc. You should have to actually PvP for PvP gear. What would you say would be the best chat? What would be the best PvP system for Classic WoW that is kind of casual friendly? Like, people like Index need this because he would never get 2k or 3k in arena, right? So if we put a rating system, people like Index will never get these gears. So that would be kind of toxic to do. We would have to make it casual where it's like you just play a lot and you get the gear, right? That's for classic people. Leave it alone, it's fine. It's not fine. Guzu and I did rank 14. We slept maybe 2 hours, 4 hours on a good day. On a bad day where that shaman stayed up all day long, we had to play like back to back 48 hours. We were dying. I remember Guzu messaging me every day that he wants to jump off a bridge. We wanted to end it, guys. It was that bad. So I don't know how they would do classic ranking. And the redesign of the new PvP they added and see anniversary, it's not good either. It's just Bean eating McDonald's meals and spamming AV, and nobody's fucking PvPing. They're just running to the end and just rushing. It's not real PvP. It's fake PvP. It's not fun. I think we might need a new battleground, and in that new battleground, I was gonna say when you kill players, you get to collect ears and maybe make them loot the ears. And if you have 10,000 ears, you could buy like a boots. And maybe if you have 25,000 ears, you could buy a shoulder. And everyone can loot the ears. And then it will be like honor and ears so that you actually have to play and loot the players. Because if you're just AFK, spam, go do shit, you might just be AFK like being eating cereal, playing AV, right? So if you're actually killing and looting, you're actually playing and PvPing. Easily exploited, to be honest. What would be the best then? Because I feel like just AV, Drek or Keck is exploitive too, in my opinion. 1 ear per kill and 10k per item. Will people just win trade though? Even the classic WoW ranking, people win traded. They were in a cave and they were just killing each other, right? But there's a system where if you kill them 4 times, you wouldn't be able to get honor anymore. Guzu remembers this because we killed everyone 4 times before we made sure they left to the Manitou Harbors. First time you kill is 100% honor gain. Second time is 75%. Third time is 50%. Fourth time is 25%. And then if you kill him 5th time, you get no honor for that day. So it would have to be like maybe honor and ear. Maybe the YouTube comment could write down some things too for the Blizzard to get. How do you like the STV Blood event? Blood event was chaotic. It was fun, but chaotic. It was not really skillful. But I guess maybe that's perfect for Classic WoW. They can add arenas, but only 5v5. No, the arenas are not good because if you do arenas, I'm a long time WoW player, so I know in and out a lot. If you do arenas, and type 1 if you could relate. You want to play arena, you want to get good, but you cannot find your partners. Whether it be everyone's elitist, whether it be you just suck at the game and no one wants to play with you, whether it be you play that one bad class nobody wants to play, whether it be you can't make time to form a group and play at the same time and have a fucking job schedule like, hey, you want to play at 9 p.m. today? Okay, log on. And then the healer's playing with someone else again and you can't queue. Arena is really fun, but it's really hard to get that same group going every time. It's hard. 1v1 arena is cool. I like 1v1 arena. I like the idea of that. Yet if we do implement that, the one class that beats everything, kind of like warlocks, are just going to be on the top. And I think people won't have fun with that. Unless they make it like class stack ranking. Maybe top 10 warlock, top 10. But already putting that top 10 makes a hard cutoff. It's tough, man. PvP is so tough to balance and design. This is why MMO PvPs are so hard to balance. It's very hard. Gatekeeping, just retail does. I don't know what the right answer would be. I kind of like that ear idea. New battleground where you just don't AFK like AV spam. And make it where you have to collect ears and honor point to buy something. I think that's the most realistic one we could go off of. Kind of like what Index said. Maybe like 5 years and 10,000 honor point for wrist. Something like that. I think that would be the best. Alright, next one. A WoW token. A secure and convenient way for players to exchange gold for game time and battle.net balance. What do we think, guys? Is this a 1 or 2? 1 meaning yes, 2 meaning no. Here's the thing, guys. I heard from somebody, allegedly, Index was trying to buy gold. I heard that. And Index is like a hardcore Classic WoW fan. I heard he was saying like, hey bruv, since I bought you a beer, can you give me 10k gold? Joker D told me that. Oh my, yeah, Joker D told me. All these classic guys say like, oh, don't put WoW token, don't put, and then they're all fucking, they have their cups out and they're begging for gold. Please give me gold. Hey, I'll buy you this in TwitchCon if you give me 10,000 gold. Everyone uses third-party website to buy gold. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people do. And I feel like this is not the right way. It's not the right way, but people would use this instead of buying off like the Chinese botters. But I guess Chinese botters could farm WoW tokens too. So I don't fucking know, man. This is a hard answer. See, it's not fake news. He says, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Joker confirmed it. So a lot of Classic players buy it. I could name like a bunch of people that play Classic WoW that aren't streamers that buy gold all the time too. A lot of people buy gold. A lot of people do. You overestimate how any people buy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why, is this good or not? I don't know. A lot of people are typing 2, but I know that people that type 2, they buy gold anyway, so they're like fucking lying over here, right? It's very tempting though. Even in SOD, I wanted to buy gold so bad, but thank God Gupu quit and he gave me all his gold. Oh my, that saved my life. Because Ashbringer cost 20k gold, guys. And it was like, how the fuck do I make this, right? I can make it, but it'll take a long time. But thank God. So what's the answer, guys? Is it a 1 or 2? We need to be realistic and honest here. It's also nice that people that can't afford to play WoW, they get to sell a token and they could play WoW. And it could be a gold that they farmed in an honest way. If it's a gold farmed in an honest way, I think that's fine. I think people just don't like if there's people like using some bot to farm mass amount. What's your opinion on this? Yeah, I'm just trying to be realistic because I played WoW forever and I know a lot of people buy it and they say they don't. And then we have like a bunch of people in the Classic Discord where they're like, oh man, it's so fucking hard to make gold. I wish I could just buy it. And it's like, fuck man. And it's like the people that hated GDKPs, now they want it back because they have no way to make gold. And a bunch of Classic people want GDKP back. So many. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but there is a mass amount of Classic player wanting GDKP back because they can't make gold. It's so controversial. It's hard. This is a very hard answer, man. It's hard. So I'll let you guys decide on that. A class talent adjustment, streaming and improving class talent tree to make weaker specialization and class more viable when maintaining. Okay, so this is kind of like what I said over here, where our druids, red paladins, shadow priests, survival hunter, any class that I didn't name that does bad in Classic WoW, I think they should get a little bit of adjustment. So this is a hard one for me. Hard one. Account-wide perk and progression system. A system that allows you to gather points and spend them on account-wide bonuses such as quality of life, convenience, encouraging players, alts, or specialization in specific activities. How many of you guys play SOD? Type 3 if you play SOD. So I like what they did in SOD, where you, for example, in Naxxramas or any of the previous raid, you could get reels, and with the reels you could buy like the lower version of that tier, right? The past tier basically you could buy with the reels. I like the reel system, and I like the little skull stuff you get, and you can share it with your other characters, so you could buy the shoulder enchants and whatnot. I like that stuff. If it's talking about that stuff, I think it should be in the game. I think it should. That kills the old content? It doesn't though, money. Because we go back in there to get reels, right? And then if you open the reels, you get mats to make potions, or you get mats to make the Ashbringer. So if you don't have gold, you could do previous raids and you could get a bunch of reels by killing each boss. They drop a token, and you could use that token to buy a box, and you open the box and you could get a bunch of mats. So it doesn't really kill it. People will still do it. Even when I went to Blackrock Mountains, there were a bunch of groups still doing BWL or Molten Core, right? It's because they want to blast through and just get the reel. And if there's any babies that are trying to get gear, they could just tag along and get baby gears from there, right? I think this system was fine. It actually makes you do the older content more. Playable High Elves? I would love Playable High Elves. Hard one. Oh, for Horde and Alliance? I think Horde should get Ogres. Is Pillow even shorter than Ira? No, Pillow's not that short. I think he's average. It's just Goose and I are tall. I think Alliance gets High Elf and Horde gets Horde Goblin. I mean, maybe they could do a vote. Maybe they could do a poll where people vote for it. Murlocs, Nagas for Horde. Those are kind of cool choices too. Goblins are way better. Ogres or Goblin. Horde get Dark Fallen. What is Dark Fallen? Murloc would be... I don't think they would ever do Murloc. Maybe. Alright, so the new races everyone likes. Revisiting known but unexplored zones. Visiting zones that were part of Warcraft history but never playable in the original, like Mount Hyjal, Odom, and Gilneas, etc. I would love that. Hard ones in the chat. This next one, bit controversial. A player housing for Classic as well. Instance personal housing for players and guilds. It's extra. Why wouldn't I want it? It's a one for me, guys. Why wouldn't you want this? Let's say you kill Onyxia and you could like have a big Onyxia head in your house and it's like a classic version of housing. Fuck it. That's so cool, man. Yeah, I don't think there's a downside. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, right? The Index is typing 2 and he's gonna be the first one going in there putting all his Rip Paladin sets on a little shelf. And this guy's gonna be begging Joker D for gold again, saying, "Hey, bruv, I'll buy you a pint of beer if you give me 10k, please, bruv." But then cities are always empty. Fuck it, dude. You'll go there to do your auction house stuff. There will be people there always. Achievements, a system to track game milestone and accomplishments. I like achievements. What are we thinking? It's just a receipt to show that you actually did stuff. I guess this could make it where people might be gatekeepy. Do you have this achievement or not? But I think it's still a good insurance because there's so many people that say like, oh, I did this raid and that raid. And then they come in and they have no idea what they're doing. So in a way, it's good to check these. Character specific, sure, I like that. Character specific. Gatekeep will happen. Honestly, gatekeep will happen whether you like it or not. If you play Classic now, they're like, what's your item level? There's gatekeeps, right? Across realm play, ability to group up with friends from other realms and dungeon and battlegrounds and other instance activities. What do you guys think about this one? I want to see what you guys say, and I'll let you know my thoughts. Right, Mimi? The Mimi's eyes are so pretty. For me, I would prefer them to make less servers. Like what they did in SAW, there was only like a few realms, right? I really liked that. I think having a bunch of realms make like dead realms, and if it is a case where there's multiple realms and there's dead realms, I think having this feature would be nice so they could actually play the game. Because if you're in a dead realm, you're kind of fucked, right? Or maybe you choose a realm to play with your friends and then they all quit and you're like kind of left alone there and you would have to re-roll. But instead of re-rolling, you could cross do stuff. I'm open to the cross stuff. I'm open to it. At the end of the day, we're trying to play World of Warcraft and make new friends. And if it's a gateway for us to play with more people, why not? Right? What would be the reason for us not to have this? Is it just to be like the old nostalgia way where you want to just play with the people that you play with in that server? I never understood why a server should matter. It was more like a pride thing for me back then. Oh, I play on server Lothar and I just want to play with people in Lothar. I don't want to play with Frostwolf people, right? But at the end of the day, if it's letting us play with more people and make more friends, I think that's fine. Did you get to meet Mordia's sister? No. We only hung out with friends. Helena. People like old, you know who people are in your server. I liked it too, don't get me wrong. I really liked that. It was fun to know your enemy. Yeah, I agree. I still remember the classic players. Their name was... There was an undead rank 14 named Jail. Super cool guy. A Jelani was a rogue. Wingclip was a hunter. We hated that guy. We killed him every time we saw him. You memorize the people you play with in that server, right? But if you have cross realm and you do battlegrounds and there's a really good player that knows how to do jump skips and this guy's like insanely mechanically good at the game, for me, I remember their name. If it's just a guy that sucks ass, I'm not gonna remember him. He's just another kill for me. But if there's an actual guy that's good at stuff, I'll remember. So in a way, you can still remember names. Alright, honor system redesign. A ground up redesign of honor system, removing the hard honor cap, making the system more evergreen and continually engaging. I wouldn't be opposed of a new ranking system. I don't know if this is the right answer. We kind of talked a lot about PvP, so we'll just skip over. War mode. As an alternative to PvP server, this game mode will allow you to opt in PvP in open world via a toggle on main faction cities. This is good and bad. This is good for people that come to PvP servers because their friends play on PvP servers and then they play and then they get ganked and die all the time. And then when they complain, people say, oh, you shouldn't be on a PvP server then, which is true. And I'm the one that says that all the time. When if I kill someone, they complain. I'm like, okay, why are you playing on a PvP server, right? And they're like, I'm playing here because of my friends. Fair. So the bad side will be for the PvPers wanting to kill people. And if everyone has it turned off, you're never going to run into people. Literally no one uses war mode. Grief is fun. Only griefers want PvP. Don't play on PvP server if you don't want PvP. That's what I say too. But I understand the people that sometimes would want to turn it off and just chill. Actually, maybe that does make sense. It's so hard though. If you don't want to play on a PvP server, don't play on it, right? But there are times where like you just want to chill and gather some herbs and then this rogue just comes and kills you all the time. It's like, oh, okay, dude, leave me alone. But if it's like people that only turn on PvP mode to PvP, then they would actually get real fights. And it wouldn't be just like PS Hero killing people going to do dungeons, right? It would actually be people turning on PvP to actually PvP there. It wouldn't be like me farm killing people that are picking up flowers all day long, right? So I guess there's like a good side and a bad side. You'll get actual good PvP if we do have war mode. You'll fight people that actually want to fight, but it might be less people because most of the people might turn it off. World PvP sucks anyways, always has been. Bring a bounty system for PvP. How about you can only attack people? Oh, wait, I like that. Instead of war mode, a toggle where it makes it if you're like 6 levels higher or lower, you can attack them. Because it is pretty toxic and embarrassing for a level 60 to just constantly kill level 30s and STV. Maybe that would be fine. Sure. I don't think people will be mad at that. A brand new zones, completely new playable areas with unique lore added to Eastern Kingdom and Kalamador. More new stuff, why not? I'll take it. New 20-player raids focus on raids and dungeons. A 40-man new player focus on raid and dungeons. Here's my take on this. I think 40 is old school, guys. Anyone that wants 40 is unemployed or you're a streamer. This is so unrealistic. You have no job if you want 40 player. I want either 15 or 20 max. 40 is not fun. And you barely do any. Index, you don't have a fucking job, man. You play Classic WoW all the time. 40 is not realistic for people that want to have a life and play the game. So I think 20 is a good number. I don't think they should ever do 40. Unless it's like an alliance raid like FF and you just steamroll through and you're just in there for fun, like Disney World, fun amusement park run, right? Honestly, I wouldn't mind 10 as well, but I know Classic people love big groups. They get a boner for big groups. For me and SOD, when it was 10 man, I fucking loved it. It felt like everyone got a mechanic to do. And the group was so easy to make. Once they made it 20, a lot of guilds in SOD did die off or they had to merge and they were so unhappy. I heard so much stories playing WoW. I get to see the perspective of almost every players, right? And I liked the small number. FF raid is 8 members and Lost Ark raid is 8 members, sometimes 16, depending on the raid stuff. But I don't think more is better. I think less is better. I like less. It's just more realistic. My guild died because of that? Yeah, a lot of guild died because of that. 20 man harder mechanic, 40 man Zerg. 10 is better. Yeah, I liked FF Ultimates or Lost Ark hard mode because when you do it 8, it feels like you're actually doing a lot of mechanics and there's fun stuff. When there's 20, it's just like a clump of big people and it's fun too. It has its fun side. Up and downs, I guess. I don't think we should do 40 though. 40 is a hard no for me. Type 1 if you want 20 man. Type 2 if you want 40 man. Let me see. Okay, that's a landslide. Bro, this guy typing 2 is such a troll, man. Index, you're such a troll, man. When I go to stream, guys, anyone want to join my AQ run? Anyone want to join my AQ run? Anyone want to join my AQ run? And he's looking for more like 10 hours. You can't fucking fill a... Dude. It's so hard to fill 40, man. It's too many. Yo, Giraffe, thank you for the 7 months.
Giraffe emoji.
Thank you, man.
Giraffe emoji.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I think 40 is epic in terms of like, holy, there's this many people going in. And it's just slapping the boss. Melee out, melee out, melee in, melee in. Ragnar's fight 40, man. Fuck off, dude. A graphical improvement to lighting, shadow, and surface reflection using modern technologies, improving lighting and engine, more realistic light, shadow. I don't have a problem with this. I'll take it. It's like Minecraft where they just have good lighting. It's not asking for new models. It's just good lighting and whatnot. I think that's good. A new trade skill, new primary and secondary professions. Sure. I think that's fun. More stuff to do. Graphical texture improvement and resolution upgrade using modern technology to improve the fidelity of textures used on classic. Oh, I would love that. Because sometimes I like zoom in on my shoulders and I could count all the pixels. If it's a classic version with refined sharp edges and whatnot, I think that's hot. I think that's hot. New battleground. Hard yes. Hard yes. We need a new battleground so we don't spam AVs and just AFK eating hot Cheetos. This is good. Hard yes. New race and class combination. I think this is a made up thing by fan. There's too many things that are similar to the same questions. New race and class combination. New race combination including those never before seen in World of Warcraft. If you guys do it right, you read the earlier one. Did I read it wrong? Okay, let's say I read it wrong. But isn't new class the same thing as new race and class combination? New class? I feel like it's almost the same thing. Character class that are completely new to any version of World of Warcraft. Not Death Knight, not Monk, not Demon Hunter, not Evokers. I mean, F it. If you guys could cook, sure. I would love that. I would love that, right? What is new class? Saw that 10-player raid. New 10-player focus raid and dungeon. Either they have... Fuck, man. I don't know. Guess I'm thinking too deep. If it's a new raid with 10 players, sure, we should have it. But here's the problem. If they make the content with 20 men, you're probably going to have 2-3 tanks and maybe 2-3 healers and the damage, right? If there's a 10 man, that group has to split up to do 10-10. And they might get the short end of like an alt having to tank, and this group might not go well, and this group might have some complaints like, hey, our tank is fucking ass while you guys are blasting through it. This is unfair. Give us the other tank. And they could have some like group troubles. The professional groups will smoothly sail. But for the majority of player, I know they're not professional. Because I've seen solid raids, and there are like many Grayson raids where they're trying to kill Balmazar for 2 days straight and they call it off because they can't. There's a lot of Grayson raids, okay? And if they have to split up that 20 group to 10-10s, they're gonna struggle. And I think that sucks. If they make it where it's like 10 baseline and every dungeon is just 10, it works out. But if it's a 20 and a 10, it splits up the group and it gets hard, right? I mean, I guess it depends on the difficulty. If it's an easy one where you steamroll, sure, it doesn't matter. But if it's like solid difficulty where you don't have the gear, and week 1, week 2 where people don't have like 2 set or 3 set or 4 set, I mean, it was pretty difficult for most of the players. Logical tank, thank you, sir. Transmogs, oh gosh. The ability to change the appearance of your equipped items, transmog, will be visible in rested area, dungeons, or raid. Here's my take on this. A lot of people say no, but if you watch any streamers that say no, they all use T-Morph, which is a little add-on type where you get to change your appearances. And then in SOD, if they add in toys like sunglasses or the... what you call it, the Mortal Kombat suits or noggin foggers or like these things, they use it all the time. And it's like, oh, it's just a costume. Guess what? Transmog is a costume too. And people that say like, oh, I want a piece so I can see what gear they have. Most of the good players, if you're a druid, you already use like noggin foggers and whatnot, and you won't be able to see their gear anyways. For me, I get it. I get why you guys don't want it, because the losers want to pick and choose who they fight because they're a pussy. And if they have better gear, they don't fight. If they have weak gear, they straight run to them and like backstab and kill them. So I get that. Like a lot of people want to do that. And some people just want to see the prestige of people clearing the raids or not. But it's classic WoW, guys. All the raids are beat. Back then, when I saw like a Bloodfang helmet or a Thunderfear, I was like, holy moly, that's so cool. But if you play classic now and you go to Orgrimmar, 20 people with Thunder Fury, and everyone has the same gear. Everyone looks like Buzz Lightyear, basically. It's basically this. Oh, I have full Shadow Fang, and then everyone's fucking full Shadow. Everyone looks the fucking same. And to me, it's a lot cooler if you did rank 14 grind and you earned that gear. You get to put on that gear and play. Because I remember I got rank 14. And when I did BWO, I had to change my gear to Knight Lieutenant gear because it gave me more attack power. And I couldn't even use my rank 14 gear. And it absolutely blows. So if you unlock it, I feel like you should be able to wear it. So that's my take. I know this is like a very opposite take and a lot of classic players hate Transmog. But for me, it should be character locked. If you unlock the rank 14 gear, you should be able to use it. And then if you have any like favorite weapons, I feel like keeping it there. You can only change that gear if you're level 60, obviously, right? Make it a toggle. I mean, fuck it, make it a toggle. But I would like to use the gears that I earned. I think it makes sense. Rather than everyone looking like this. I would love to mix and match some classic stuff. That's my take. And I know that there's a lot of disagreements, but that's my take, at least. Blizz always made best gear, most cool looking one though. What if they did a T-Mog iMorph and just make it a client-sided? Also, that only you see the gear yourself? Fuck, dude. That'll be up to the people to decide. This is just my opinion. I know everyone has different opinions, and you guys probably have fair opinions as well. What would be the argument of not having Transmog though? Because I kind of answered everything, I feel like. Is there anything I didn't answer? Transmog equals cash. I don't think they're going to add a cash shop, trust me. Saw didn't add cash shop, nor did they add wild token. I think they learned a lot from Sod. The argument of PvPers want to see other people's gear when you fight, but I think that's total bullshit. Yeah, and I kind of answered that, right? I want T-Mog as RP nerd. I just want certain. I like it too, man. The argument is that PvPers want to see other people's gear when fighting, but I think that's total bullshit. No one is gonna inspect their opponent gear in the moment. If they add very difficult acquired gear, it could be like back in the day. Team-Morph at this stage is classic, is whatever. Everyone min-maxes, so everyone looks the same. I added more of a downside back in the day. I degaff how somebody looks. I just find it badass to T-Mog Scarlet Crusader gear. That's what I'm saying. That's so cool. You can tell how good someone's gear by the HP. True, you can see their HPs. With the current economy on Annie and 90% sure we're gonna end up with wild token and TBC, not gonna lie. Salt didn't have wild tokens, and that was the test for Classic Plus, so I have good faith in that. And we went over the wild token stuff if you came in late, but we went over a lot of the stuff. I think the team-up would be good for the longevity of the game. Everyone will run all the dungeons and raids. Their gear glow run. Savix did reduce skill and mount costs in SOD. I don't know about that one. SOD was just a seasonal thing. Classic Plus would be there to stay. We don't know. I feel like it's gonna be another season title. Because they would have to go off of that to TBC and Wrath. And let's say they do go off of that to TBC and Wrath. At a certain point, they're going to have to add 2 more buttons and 2 more everything each expansion, and it might just become the same repeat where the new expansions are like hit or miss because they did everything that people wanted, and now they're just trying to figure out what other cool stuff they could add, right? TBC, everyone got abilities that you really wanted, like cloak, Shadow Step for rogues, a little gap closer. And then we got flying mounts, and then in Wrath, we got a little bit more abilities of what we wanted. But as it kept progressing, Wrath was like peak, and then it progressed, and then they had to add in more stuff. And it's hard to add in new stuff. And it's hard to take away abilities if they already given it to them. So I don't know if Classic Plus will go in that longevity run. Maybe they'll add in like few more raids so that it lasts, but I don't think it'll last forever. No MMO lasts forever. Or no expansion, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna do the guild stuff, Mr. Churi the Great. I might just do it like Judgment, where it's like an open guild. Nail! Thank you for the 44 months. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Alright. Playable paladins on Horde side. I have no problem with that. The introduction of paladin class to Horde. Sure. I think that's a hard one for everyone, right? I want undead though. I don't want Tauren. I hated when Taurens got paladin. I would love an undead paladin. Undead paladin. What would you guys want if they had a horde paladin for Classic Plus? Undead paladin makes no sense. It does make sense. And I could prove you wrong in so many ways. You want me to pull out the video? Look at my mana. What part was it? Where is this? I'm looking hard, guys, okay? Was it even this video? Oh, right here, look. First of all, there's Undead Holy Priest and Undead Disc Priest. And if you go to Nordrend, which is just like lore accurate, there's reanimated Crusaders. And they could make it a version where Paladins have Hammer of Justice, but it could be like Hammer of Injustice, which still stuns. And it could be like Unholy Light, and then they heal themselves. So it doesn't have to be called like Holy Light. It could be like undead lore-wise of how they work, right? They already have it in Wrath. There's Paladins that are dead up there, which is so fucking badass. I think it works. We need Troll Druids, not Human Hunter. These are not undead. They're basically just skeletons. What is undead? They literally have bones. They're literally skeletons, my guy. What are we talking about? They're literally zombies. Nobody playing Tauren Paladin? I think Undead Paladin is way cooler than Tauren Paladin. There are far more Tauren Paladins heroes than Undead, I think. Yeah, but Tauren Paladin is so bad. It existed for so long, so it's gonna be hard to convince people, but a fucking cow? A fucking cow? That plays with little leaves, little dust, little shamans, like... When they added that first, I was so mad, man. Now I don't care as much, but Undead Paladin existed, okay? Yeah. Tauren Paladin makes as much sense as Tauren Rogue. Yeah. It's an alternate timeline, that's right. Sunwalkers are Tauren Paladin squad. Like I said, Blizzard retconned and skewed the lore, so Tauren Paladin exists for a long time. People are gonna like it, but for me, it didn't make sense. Yeah, Night of Paladin exists. There were a few in the Legion Hall. Fuck it, dude. Give every class everything. It could be a Tauren that came to the light and started praying and learned. Night Elf coming and praying. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. But I would like an undead is what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at. Regardless of which version of WoW is your current main, this is fake because this bar... or maybe not. This is the next page and it didn't even fill up. This is so fake, bro. This should be like right here at least, no? Regardless of which version of WoW is your current main version, what version of WoW do you think will become your main version in future once Classic Mists of Pandaria ends? Oh, Classic era, vanilla style server realm with Mists of Pandaria character, a different version of Classic without Mists of Pandaria character, retail / modern WoW with Mists of Pandaria character, Wrath of the Lich King Classic or an earlier expansion with Mists of Pandaria character, Classic World of Draenor if it becomes available, a permanently frozen Mists of Pandaria Classic realm, no further updates. I do not plan on continue playing WoW after the end of Mists of Pandaria. I don't know, that's a broad question. I would like Panda to end and they go back to Classic Plus. You guys want WoD hype? What do you guys want? You guys want to replay everything that we played? I want a new... That's why in Kata I just did week 1, week 2 arena and raid week 1 heroic clear. After that I didn't play, right? Because I already played Kata so much when I was younger. Same thing with Mists of Pandaria. I played it so much as a kid. I want a Classic Plus. I wanted to end MOP and just Classic Plus. Just restart. And then the Classic Anniversary server becomes CBC and Wrath. And then they just go in a circle like that. For the people that wants to play it, hashtag no changes, right? And that'll be a good change for them every 2 years, I guess. So what do you guys want, chat? They could do a speedrun WoW server, release all raid at once and make them equally hard as the same level. That's just like WoD remix then, right? If you want to just speedrun and do the raids and whatnot. I don't even want mob. I want Classic Plus too. Same. Classic mob, then restart would be weird to stop at Wrath of the Lich King at this point. No, only reason I play even level Classic post vanilla. Steal Turtle WoW ideas. WoD class design in Classic Plus would be it for me. Okay, I mean, I see where everyone's coming from. Sure. Whether this be real or not, that was a fun little survey. Wait, maybe I was wrong about this bar because it's 454. And this is at 5. So maybe that bar progression does make sense. But the way he put it at the end made it seem like if we went through all of these and then this was the end page. I don't know. Maybe this is real, maybe this is fake. Seeing Alliance Shaman as the first item and Horde Paladin as the last just reads funny to me. We ask you, please keep everything in the survey confidential. Revisiting. Please keep immediately shares on Reddit. 1v1 sounds kind of sick. I'd love to log on and watch some people duke it out. Yeah, I would love 1v1. I'm going to net. Playing High Elf is interesting. I hope they end up introducing the Warcraft 2 to 3 races. Oh, that'll be great. Ogres and Nagas. Please God, no Transmog. Transmog takes away so much from the game. I think it adds more to the game. And it's obviously just my personal take, right? I feel like everyone just looks the same. And I think it adds more if everyone looks different. It's cooler. It's more MMO feel. Keep the godly ass retail character out of it. You want higher res. Depending on how the survey out, I'll personally not want updated character models. What do y'all think? Summon Stone. Oh yeah, they would have to add some quality of life stuff. Horde Paladin and Classic make my zug zug tingle. 10-man raid make my zug zug tingle. A new class dilute the mage and warrior sound my zug zug throb. Very viable bear and paladin tank make my zug go Loktar. Okay, so a lot of people like the 10-man raid idea. No 20-man or 40-man. I would like a smaller raid too, to be honest. I don't like the big ones. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's pretty base. I like that. Summoning Stone? Okay, why do you not like Summoning Stone Index? This fucking classes. Dude, go play Classic WoW for the 50th time, Index. Guys, this guy plays a red paladin in Classic WoW, by the way. He fucking presses one seal and auto attacks. Let me hear it. Please no Summon Stone. Bro, you fuckers that say that get summoned every time. Hey, type 1 to see if you need summon. And they're like this. I swear to God. And then I go to Index's stream. He's not walking like he told me. This guy's always doing this. Everyone does 1, 2, 3, and they're like, oh no, don't add Summoning Stone. Let the warlocks fly over there and summon everyone. Not, bro. This is true, man. You bet. Did I read it wrong? What did I read wrong? We need Summoning Stone, man. Index, why do you not want Summoning Stone? Oh, he's a Summoning Stone, please. Okay, my bad. I retract that statement. My bad, sir. But this guy just triggered me because he's not rage baiting, man. This guy's real. Dude, the biggest argument I had with Index was this, guys. God, it pisses me off thinking about it. So there are flight paths in WoW where I forgot if it was Pharaoh last, but if you take this point B to point A, I want to go straight. But it makes me go fucking Wakanda forever and like I'm doing a U-turn into what? And then I have to waste like 12 minutes. And then I was telling Index, if they have a Classic Plus, I would like if the flight paths just go like this. And he was like, no, bruv. No, I like when you go 15 minutes because that forces me to get up and I could go pee and grab some drink. And it's like, bro, you could fly point A to B and then right after you land, you could go do your shit if you want. Like, why are you trying to waste everyone's time because you don't like getting up? You know what I mean, guys? That logic is so crazy. That's so crazy, man. Make everyone suffer. It's no fly zone, buddy. You didn't know? I mean, just do like this then. It doesn't have to be like fucking U-turn.
Vegeta, it pains me to see you going through this. What a waste. I favored you so much. Why couldn't you just continue to obey me? Vegeta, haha, a lot of things have changed since we last met Frieza. Let me show you Super Saiyan 4. Frieza, Savix help.
Yeah, anyways. Gnome, thank you for the 21 month. Appreciate it, my man. This guy TTSs himself and types L by himself. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about because of that whole thing. I think you should feed the griffin for immersion when flying. That's fine. I wouldn't mind that. I just don't want like 20-hour flights. And then I go to his stream. And then he's begging for summons. Typing 1, 2, 3. Dude, fuck off, man. You classic purists are sick in the head, man. I think you should pay WoW token for instant flight path. Alright, buddy, relax.